The only reason DC's lost the fights that he's lost is because he's a fighter. He's a fighter and wants to go out there and fight. And I will stick to that till I will bet anything on that. Like if there's a way to prove that 100%, like I feel every single loss. Now I know you can lose from a punch or whatever the case, and yeah, of course he threw it and landed it, the body shot, whatever. But it's like I feel like every loss he's had overall was because he went out there and he's just a fighter at heart and wants to fight, versus playing it safe. If he wanted to play it safe and just go out there and get the win, I don't think anybody would have beat him. That's what I'm trying to say.
He doesn't play it safe.
But he doesn't want to be a boring safe fighter,
Like the second fight with Jones. I mean, he was doing great. We were happy. We were like, yes, finally. Then he started getting cocky.
Yeah.
Crazy Bob and I were losing it. We're going, no, don't go back to what you were doing.
It's that fighter ego.
All of a sudden, that unbelievable great kick, man.
Yeah.
That was an unbelievable kick he threw, and it was like boom, and I'm like, my heart broke because we were doing so perfect. We had the perfect game plan till DC got cocky, and he thought he had it in the bag. But Bob and I knew, no way. A great fighter like Jones, you don't have in the bag. You stick your hands up to the very end. If you remember the first fight with Jones and him, the reason why I know you never give up on Jones is, remember when Jones at the very end, the fifth round, raised his hands like this, like the fight was over? DC dropped his hands, Jones popped them.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fighter he'll do. He'll do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
And even though the fight was over in his favor, he still did that. Did that. And DC picked him up in the fifth round and was going to throw him. He grabbed the cage.
Yeah.
He grabbed the cage so he couldn't get thrown. He didn't want to lose that last round. So the guys like that, if you're not on your toes all the time, you're going to get it. So there's a reason why he's so great. He didn't quit, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win. And DC tries to get you at your own game, and that's the reason.
I think when the conversation comes down to fighter pay, we also got to think about all the things you're paying out on top of what you're actually getting paid or what we see publicly.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely it. But so I see it multiple ways. I see it as, hey, if you're a fighter, you should know these things, and you should know what you're getting into, and you should know that, listen, there's only a really, really small, very small percentage who make a decent living off their fighting. And there's a whole bunch of people who are at the poverty line. Even guys who make it to the UFC, a lot of them are at the poverty line. And so, have that in mind. Now, there's a separate conversation to be had about should fighters be paid more, right? And for that, I think, right, unless everyone collectively bargains, that's probably not going to happen because, Dana doesn't want to be paying money that he doesn't have to be paying. And the only way sometimes collective bargaining would happen would be if a whole bunch of very large name fighters could, sit out together for an extended period of time, which we're kind of seeing a few people do that. But then it's like, how long can they actually last, right? Can they last 12 months? Can they last 18 months? Because most fighters, we're talking about fighters don't pay their taxes, how many fighters have a 12 to 18 month reserve where they could just sit out and not worry about it? And the answer to that is probably very, very few, even on the high end.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have talked about, George Masvidal and John Jones, two kind of high-profile guys bringing it up. But we've seen this before. There have been high-profile guys, complaining about pay and bring it up publicly. And eventually, maybe they do get whatever they're happy with, and then they kind of go away. And that's kind of the problem with the fighter union or the collective bargaining thing is, if those bigger-name guys are the guys who have to, kind of step up and take that place, but we just haven't seen it, and I don't know that it'll ever happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you care most about yourself, right? That's just human nature, that you just care most about yourself. And so if you actually have that much power, here's the deal: Dana's probably going to give you what you want, so you shut the hell up. And that way you don't have to worry about everybody else, you know? So it would take someone like a Conor and a John Jones and a few other people. And if Dana gives those guys what they want, do they really, really genuinely care enough about other people to sit out? Because they're the only ones that can force the UFC's hand. They're literally it.
Yeah. And as you said, there's a handful of guys, you know, Conor and a few others who can legitimately, you know, quit today and live the rest of their lives on what they already have in the bank. And we got to be honest about that.
Conor talked about how wealthy he is, but I don't know that that's even the truth. I mean, we talk about a guy like Floyd Mayweather who made way more money than Conor did. Is Conor really that smart with his money? I mean, that's what he tries to put out there, but I don't know. Maybe it's the truth, maybe it's not. I'm not sure.